All right, but let's get to the real football at hand here, and the Lions who won yesterday. Are you buying that they are back on track? Maybe just a little bit? We're going to take it to our Local 4 Water Cooler Roundtable. Hit it.
All right, obviously we're feeling a lot better this week than we were last week. Lions get back on track. Jason, I want to start with you. You were the most hesitant to get on the hype train after we beat Kansas City. Now we're 2-1. How are you feeling?
Looking real smart, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, shots fired. You tell me a reason why we should feel great about yesterday's win over a team that can't throw the ball.
Did he answer a question with a question?
Yes, he did.
Here's
I'm not saying
I'm new to this.
I'm not saying
but
I'm
I
on
don't believe
board.
he answered the question.
I'm not saying I'm not on board. It's great. It was a great showing by the defense. But Goff, after going so many passes without an interception, now he's got 3 in 2 games. And the game plan to beat the Falcons is like, we're going to load up, we're going to stop the run. If this quarterback can beat us, awesome. But he can't. He can't beat anybody that way. So I take it with a grain of salt.
But isn't it been a little bit encouraging that the Lions showed they can win with defense and not just with a high-powered offense?
This was a stabilizing win. I said last week I wasn't going to panic because I saw the next 3 teams after the Seattle game. I knew they were going to right the ship. I think you go into this week, Green Bay, same game plan, just pressure the heck out of Jordan Love.
Yes.
I'm not scared of Green Bay at all. We'll be 3-1. Then you got 10 days to prepare for Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. They're going to be fine, so rip off a few more wins. That Seattle game will be way back in the rearview mirror. And we're just 4-1 going to Tampa Bay. Wake me up then.
We've got some optimists. We've got Jason. What about you, Rob?
I'm an eternal optimist.
Okay.
I'm a lifelong Lions fan. I go into every season with hope and optimism, and I will sit in the stands and just get, constantly disappointed as the seasons go on. But I've just always been there because I've always felt like at some point it's going to be our year. And I think that's what we're experiencing right now. And I sit next to this guy every morning and hear his skepticism and how he can't just quite grasp the fact that we're good. But I saw great things, like just listening to some of the analysts leading up to the game that were talking about how great the Atlanta run game is. And we shut it down. Like, that's a win. That's awesome. Our defense was killing it. Our rookie defensemen were really, really good. Like the Branch guy, Laporta, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Brian
they
Branch was
were,
great.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching a new Lions team that I just have never seen before. Like that convincing of a win, playing against an undefeated team. It's not like Atlanta was, a bad losing team. So I was extremely encouraged. It was fun to watch, and I didn't think one loss against Seattle was the end of the world. I mean, we're not going to be undefeated this year. So now that that's done, I just thought we looked great, and I think we're going to continue to in Green Bay.
You mentioned the rookies. The biggest difference for me right now is all of our lives, the Lions were terrible at drafting. They would do things like draft Eric Ebron. They would waste a pick on Jelani Tavai or Tease Tabor, who was a slow quarterback. And as soon as Brad Holmes gets here, we start seeing that our team is made up of these draft picks who develop and they become big contributors. Our best player is a 4th-round wide receiver. Last year it was Rodrigo breaking out a 6th-round pick, and now it looks like Brian Branch might be maybe the best player on our team. And he was our 4th pick.
A guy like Jared Goff that the rest of the league had given up on.
Yeah,
and even when he came here, I thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do with him? And they, knowing him from LA, knows that he can develop him, and if he has the right system, can be a really good quarterback.
Can I ask a quick question? Because Ken hasn't spoke at all, but I did want to just say,
He's not allowed to speak in
because
this.
Goff is good.
Yeah.
What I saw with him, like you're saying, he threw a couple interceptions. Tom Brady threw interceptions. He was the greatest of all times. Like, I don't think we have to be like they made one mistake, they're terrible. He threw an interception. It wasn't a pick 6 this time. Like, I mean, okay.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more with Randa on that. This idea that the Lions have to play this perfect football that no team has ever played to reach Jason's bar for being happy with the team is just ridiculous.
I've been a Lions fan my whole life.
You
just don't get too high or too low.
You just broke down, just seconds ago, you broke down a successful defensive scheme, and you were mad about it. You were like, they stopped the run, and they the court. Yeah, that's what they decided to do, man, and it
He's not
worked.
happy unless Taylor Swift is up in the box dating one of our players. That's the new standard.
She's going to be dating Hutchinson in 2 weeks. We know that.
Well, she does have a track record. Wouldn't doubt that.
So okay, obviously Ken is our resident Kool-Aid sipper. He still had the IV
Cheers,
bag
Ken.
in. Yeah. He still had the IV bag in last week after the loss. But so I have to ask you, are you worried at all about the offensive line? Obviously, so we got 4 penalties, 3 holdings, and the personal foul on Nelson. We were on our 4th right tackle by the end of the game, so injuries are a concern. So this is kind of what the team was built around. It was the first thing that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell made a priority when they got here. And now it seems like maybe it's, falling apart a little bit. What do you think?
I mean, there's some concern there. There's some concern there because the running game has not been that good. They had a little bit of success near the end of the game yesterday, but I think the pass protection has been good enough. It's been pretty solid. I mean, Goff has been back there with plenty of time, plenty of occasions, and he's made really good throws with that time. So I'm not overly concerned about it. I hope that Penei Sewell can clean up some of those holding calls that he keeps getting
Yeah,
getting
because
flagged
he's
on.
been around a while. He knows better.
Exactly, yeah. So just seeing Penei Sewell get flagged over the last couple of weeks a bunch of times is a little bit.
Well, I think people think that you can just take a left tackle and a right tackle and swap them and it's just seamless. But he's playing out of position right
Exactly.
now. I mean, he's one of the best right tackles in football, but when you put him on the left, that's a little bit different thing.
Yeah.
So, people take that for granted. Vaitai is hurt again. So I think if there's one thing that I'm concerned about, it's probably that.
Yeah.
But, the Lions are tied for first. The Packers, us and the Packers. So we're going into a game in just 3 days with first place on the line. How we
Huge
feeling?
game. Huge
I mean, we know Ben thinks that the game's already over and Green Bay shouldn't even show
Well,
up. But
it's a big game. They better come out and do what I think they should do because it's a huge game. You got to get one in the division.
Huge now because I felt like I heard that last week. I mean, against Atlanta, this is a must.
Well, this is a divisional opponent. You're
We're
going
like
to
3
be
games
battling.
in.
You're going to be battling Green Bay for the division, so they got to get this one.
Of course,
Yeah.
a division team we got to beat.
I think the Atlanta game was big because you don't want to start off with a win over Kansas City and then drop 2 home games in a
True.
row, and then all of that momentum you built,
Right.
all of the excitement that's around the team sort of stalls.
Yes.
And you have to start
you
over.
Really lose people
And,
like him.
and then you're in a position where you feel like you have to win at Green Bay because you're 1 and 2. Now
Well,
it's
you
more
wouldn't-
taking control of the division.
Now, is Green Bay? Who's their quarterback? Is he
Jordan Love.
12?
Yeah. He's like 16 actually.
He's the quarterback.
I think his birthday's next week. He'll be 17.
Okay.
No, yeah, and if they can get to the quarterback you can almost run the same scheme against them. Just make Jordan Love beat you.
Yep.
They learned it.
Same
Shouldn't
game
be
plan.
that hard.
It shouldn't be that hard. Wow. So are we counting out the Vikings completely now? Now that they're
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Oh
field?
yeah, they're frauds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was out on them before the season anyway. They had 11 wins last year.
Yeah, they were
They were
really
11 and
good.
0. Well, no, they had 11 one-score wins. You knew those were going to completely reverse those trends, and they've lost 3 straight one-score
Oh.
games. So
Love to see.
Okay.
Love to see.
love, yeah.
Well,
That we can all agree on.
I mean, the Lions are really good. They're the
Okay.
team to beat now. And
So we've established the Lions are going to destroy the Packers.
Yes.
We're going 16-1 and straight to the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
All right, there's the water cooler.
Ready for
Cheers.
You heard it here first.
Here,
Cheers to that.
I don't get it. I'm not allowed to have it.
Make sure Ben's got a cup next time.